Fight on!
Yo everyone, what up? Welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve, and we're back in the apartment. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Sega Blast City Part 2, the cabinet. Yes, now that it's all been restored, I do have an update on the marquee, which is awesome news, some cool things to show you. Also, we're going to take the cabinet out. We're going to go through ins and outs, open every door, look at the monitor, look at the coin mech, the whole deal. Open the back to see what that looks like. I've never done that before, and review what's inside and what really makes the Blast City tick, and options to upgrade it for multiple games like I have in mind. So let me pick you up and go handheld. Let's review the cabinet and we'll check it out. So what I've done is I've opened all the doors. I'm gonna just pull up the control panel in a moment. I didn't open the marquee. If you want to see what it looks like behind there, check out my Sega Blast City Restore Part 2, where I do the artwork and other things as well. You'll see it off. Now let's get on the subject of the artwork. Now I know it's a terrible glare, but here's what happened. Jason, who sold me the artwork, saw my video, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It's in my Part 2 restore video, but ideally what happened is the marquee and just a little of the artwork got it peeled up, and the marquee really showed it, like not too much the just the stickers here, the bezel stickers. So when the light turned on, because it's backlit, this would look it wasn't the worst, but it looked like used. It looks used. It looked bad, and it was annoying, but I said I'm not gonna change it because it was more money, and you couldn't really see it that much, and it kind of looked like an older feel. Now, yeah, glare's brutal. So what happened is Jason messaged me through arcade-projects.com, great website, especially for this stuff, more the Japanese type stuff, but non-exclusive too. And he messaged me just saying, "Steve, man, I saw your video. It's a bummer." He apologized, which he shouldn't have, because it was definitely my fault. Anyways, he says, "Look, man, you just send me the shipping, and I'll give you another, I'll give you another marquee on me," which was super generous. I almost felt guilty for taking it, but he sent it to me, and it looks absolutely stunning. And the better part is, it's actually not a thick cardboard. He did this on a vinyl, so the actual light penetrates through a lot better, and has a shimmer and a sheen that's way cleaner, and looks awesome. So a weird blessing in disguise that turned out better and looks amazing. So Jason, thank you so much for that. Looks great. We'll turn that on later. So that's the marquee, and you can put any marquee in there. It's not a square. It has kind of like a curve to it. So it's not just a square. The marquees here, this piece is on the plastic, and then this is just clear. Here is where, again, obviously the monitor bezel. This is where I put this Marvel vs. Capcom 2 sticker, and the move, and not the move list, but like how to I guess the special moves or special combo system moving forward down. Now this is a tri-sync monitor, which has different that can support different resolutions. For an example, if I'm playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which this cabinet is themed, it's perfect. It's perfect resolution and not stretched. Where if I played something like in the CPS2 or even further in like classic games, it doesn't stretch and any syncs to that kilohertz, which is awesome. So beautiful monitor. I'll turn that on momentarily. Then we have the moves. This is for both the hidden characters, and then also it's cool. The neat thing is, that there was down here in the arcades like a plug where you can actually plug in your joystick, your Saturn joystick, your Dreamcast joystick, and also the VMU memory card, which is really neat. I didn't do it to mine because I don't have a Dreamcast, and nor I wouldn't want that, but it was really cool that you can do that, similar to how Neo Geo did with the MVS memory card. So to the AES. So then there's obviously, so this is glass. It's printed here as well, so I have all the characters for the game. You can put anything there. This is meant for 100 yen. If you saw my review, actually, the restore, I should say, I cut it 2-3 millimeters. You can see it there. And now it accepts both American and Canadian quarters, which I'll show you in just moments. Now, this is Francesco, when he sold it to me, he had kind of like a champagne blue and like a champagne pink. I didn't mind it, but truth be told, I wanted it kind of how it was in the pictures, the original, so both to the yellow start buttons and back to the green. So why don't I open and this is how it opens here. There's a key, and you just pull it. So you just lift it up here. And then, so what it is obviously, now here's the good part, where this monitor has the controls up front, which other monitors don't, which was awesome. And then here's the service credits, here's the volume, and here's the connectors to the buttons. Now this here obviously runs to this Raspberry Pi 2, which is now a Naomi Pi, and what it does is, and I'll show you in a moment, it runs to the Netdimm, which acts like a game, and then it takes the file and this sends it to the Netdimm, and then it actually puts it to the Naomi 2, and then it runs the game, which is super awesome. So later on, I might just zip tie these down, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't really bother me whatsoever. We'll turn that on momentarily. Here's let me just turn around how the buttons are. Very nice layout. Very compact, very smart and well built system. Easy to use, and it's very functional. So let's close that back for a moment. There we go. Let's head inside of the cabinet. Actually, it's neat. This key, I wanted to get a replacement just in case, but look at it. It's weird. See that? It's Japanese. It's not like a regular key in North America. And I don't know if, a local hardware store would make that. I may have to go to a key maker or just never lose this. Let me move this aside. So here's, I'll do this part in a moment. Here's the coin mech, which I changed to an American style. I still have the Japanese one for yen. There's the serial number of the cabinet, 007700836. This will now accept quarters. And again, I do this in my restore. I just took the little C-clip off here, and now it gives it room to drop in. Here we have where the coin mech and coin counter is, and the coin bucket, which is not a regular bucket. It is different than the American type, because you can actually put a lock there, which is neat. And in here I just have quarters. So there's the inside, which apparently Francesco said a lot of times when you buy this, they're missing that bucket, and they're very hard to find. I was just curious to see how much they are online. 50 American, I saw this on eBay for. I know eBay pays a little more, and that wasn't even with shipping because it's very awkwardly sized. So that would be, with shipping and conversion to Canadian dollars, almost $100. So I'm happy that I got that. Anyways, let's move forward. So in here looks very tight, as you can see. We'll go through the back. Well, part of it anyway. So let me describe as the best I can. I'm not the best at this, so we can pull some of this out. It's pretty tight in there. Maybe I won't, but here's what it is. So there's the power supply right there. Now the interesting thing is there's two power supplies. There's one here, right there, where you see on the right, and then there's another one here, and I'll explain why. So this is a Naomi 2 board. You can tell because it's black. The white one is the 1. The cool thing is the Naomi 2 is actually backwards compatible for the Naomi 1 games, but not the reverse. That's the Netdimm, right here, which is normally a game, but what it does is it pretty much tricks the system so you can run multiple regions, Japanese, North American, whatever else, and then you can actually send the signal, and you can have multiple games because it reads like one, which was this. Oh, excuse me, actually before I get that, and this is a GD-ROM, which actually, is like a little dongle, and then with a game so that you can play upgraded games. So I have those and the Netdimm with a universal BIOS, and I can explain how that's important, which I just found somehow really cool. So as you can tell, you see those dip switches right here? Well, actually, I'll tell you now. So while I was playing around with this, Chris, my buddy Chris that came over who wanted to check it out and I wanted to show him, said to me, hey, why are all your games in Japanese? I'm like, I don't know, because that's the ROM. He goes, no, Steve, you're wrong. I'm like, well, tell me. He says, no, all you're doing is just change the dip switches. So you see that dip switch, the second one is turned to the right. Before that was to the left, which is off. He says, that's the American setting, so now your games will come up in English. I'm like, what? So we did it and it worked. So now I'm complete because my Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was in Japanese, which I didn't mind too much because there's not a lot of writing. But when you choose your type, like projectile type or variable type or whatever it is, or a variety type, you can't read it. So this helped immensely. Now I can, read it in English and it's, more authentic. So now it's perfect. It runs perfect. I have all the characters unlocked, which I'll show you. And also now it's in the US. So Chris, if you're watching, thank you. Now there are a few games, for an example, Marvel vs. Capcom, Capcom vs. SNK 2000 or number 1, and there's the Pro Edition. Now the Pro never came out to North America, so it's only in Japanese, which it won't run. So I'd have to push that back to run Japanese, and it works if I wanted to play that. So let's move forward. Now here is the upgrade to the flash drive. So this flash drive will send the signal to the Netdimm, which will read games burned on a micro or a SD card or a flash card, the game. So that was the technology maybe 4 years ago, and it worked maybe 3-4 years ago, and it worked very well. But as you can tell, it's a little cumbersome. Plus, you always have to take the the cartridges out, come on like a Game Boy, and always take the actual the front off. So later on, we upgraded to the Naomi Pi, which I just showed you up on that control panel. So that instead of inserting discs, you just go to that Naomi Pi and you just press up and down, which I'll show you in a moment, and you select your game. So that was awesome. Now I'm leaving it in here because one day I may want to sell this, because Francesco gave me over 80 games with the whole thing working, even with the actual with the different BIOS for it to work. So I may sell that, or later on I may put that in maybe a racing game that I want, if I want a Japanese racer, or for something else. But right now I have it and it works, so good on that. Again, it's very tight in here. There's the JVS board, similar to one I have in my Vulex 2 cab, or the Capcom I/O board, similar. So you can tell it's very compact in here and it's very tight. But again, everything's working and looks great. So that's the front of the cabinet and the innards. Now let's go to the back, because I've never seen this. So here's all the Japanese stickers that look kind of neat. I'm not sure what all that means. Blah, 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 probably warning and, Sega. And then if we get down here, I've never seen this before. So here's the monitor. And again, it's a tri-sync monitor. There's all the controls, but again, all the remote board is up there. And it's been capped before I bought it, so which was good. So hopefully a lot of years of uninterrupted gameplay. So that's it right there. Now let me just sit down. Here's the verification of the serial number again, 007780836. And again, telling you about the voltages and whatever else. Here's the power. There's the switches and the amps. And then, or the fuses I should say, and then this little piece here, so that right there came from that's the back door. And then this little thing here was just, I guess, an access point. Now, you might be wondering what's going on. Remember I just told you there's 2 power supplies? Now, the power supply is to run, the Naomi 2 and the Netdimm, and also the little Naomi Pi. So you have another power cord here, and then you have another one from the main cabinet. Has wheels, which is very convenient, very Japanese, very efficient. Excuse me. So that's the back of the cabinet. A couple of good fans in there, and that's from the power supply. That's for the cab, which is also nice to keep it aerated. So that's the ins and outs of the cabinet, as much as I can do here. Now again, not technically the best, so if I'm missing something, please let me know. So that's the ins and outs. Oh, interesting, another thing. These speakers are very unique. Now, if you want to see what the speaker looks like, go to my Sega Blast City pickup, and you'll see at the end where Francesco gave me another speaker with a housing, but it was blown big, and they're very unique. They're long. It almost looks like a book. It actually looks kind of like this. Smaller, but whatever, like a book like this, but with speakers. So that looks kind of neat. So what I'll do is, let me just button this up here. I'll show you and I'll turn it on. I'll show you the USA gameplay as well, which is awesome, and how the marquee lights up. So I put the Blast City back in its place, nice and neat. Everything's buttoned up, which looks great. Let's go ahead and turn the power on. As you can see, there's the marquee. I know the it's not that bad. You see that? Nice. Now at night, this looks amazing. Not only, but it lights up the entire apartment, which is beautiful. It's so cool. Especially beside the view licks, which right now is, I guess, I cover it like that because the sun, my apartment's very sun drenched, which is a good thing, but I cover that up. So then when I both take these off, which is rare because, you know, I hate kind of putting it back on. So there's the Naomi setting up. Now that error, it never came up before when I was trying the flash drive. I explained this in the part 2 restore. It came up. Normally it would just say searching, and then what you do is you just go to the Pi. Now what happens is, it's true, every 20th, maybe 15th, 20th startup, maybe because I unplugged it, replugged it, the Pi doesn't come on. So I just unplug it, wait a few, and plug it back in, and then that'll come up in just a sec. So it says that, and I don't know what I did, but now it says gateway cannot be found, which is normally the game, which to be honest doesn't bother me. I know it says error and no one likes errors. All it's saying is I can't read the file of the game. I'm like, where are you? So that's what it's looking for, and it's a way for me to be like, okay, well now you can press to load the game, because sometimes the Raspberry Pi, there it is, it comes up faster than the monitor. So as you can see, it starts off at 18 million. It's alphabetical. Just press this down, you can see it changing game. So I'm gonna rifle down to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is the game I play the most, and that's why I've themed it. So many good memories. So here's Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That one I made, and well, no, let me rephrase. This was made by Arcade.project. Someone gave me the file. We did kind of a group, like a fun GoFundMe, and they someone who's a lot smarter than I am hacked it. So now I have all the characters unlocked from the get-go and all the colors. So from there you select your game and you press select right here. So now it sends it saying, there's a signal. So it just takes a few to come up. So we'll just load that. Now while we do that, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna just actually put this down. Normally what I do, there are usually a few credits already. That's the credit button. I'll just credit it up. So I'll just do that, and then we'll wait. So while we're waiting for it to load, maybe it takes another minute or two, let me jump to this. So if you guys ever checked out my, the Tato Viewlix LCAB, I do the, when I got them from, I got these ashtrays from Japan. Cool, eh? So I have one from red and white from the Tato to fit the theme. And I bought a second one because I knew one day I would have the Blast City. And lo and behold, around 6 months later, yeah, it would be around 6-7 months later since I got these. It was near Christmas. Now I had it ready. So this goes perfectly right there, which looks authentic, beautiful. Look how cool that is. If you guys want to buy this, and then it just loads the game, it's coming. If you guys ever want to buy this, all the information is on the my Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, the cabinet video similar to this one, and then in the description you'll see all the details, and now you can buy them. They're amazing, great value, and especially if you're in the US or especially Europe, they're a lot cheaper than sending it to Canada, especially with our shit dollar. Alright, so here it comes up. So, and again, loading game, and I do smoke cigars and tobacco pipes, so it's nice to actually sit there. Some people, my friends, have cigarette butts, and we put it there, which is kind of neat. Later, what I want to do, see there it is, USA, because before it said Japan. Now what I want to do is I want to get a circled Mylar from Pinball and put one here, put one here so it can last longer, so it doesn't burn, even though it's nice and acrylic. And it's very nice, it won't. And there's Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And that's in English. So beautiful marquee, everything looks nice. As you can tell, all the characters are already unlocked because those would normally be a shadow. So what I'm going to do also is let's quarter it up officially. You can hear that. Boom.
Versus Capcom 2.
So the coin mech works, which is beautiful. I always like that just cuz. And so we're ready to go. Now we're not going to play. That's going to be for next video. And on the review. As you can tell, there's all the characters unlocked. And then you can also see they have all their colors alternate because they have a yellow border around their character. Now you can, it looks vibrant, man. I love it. Beautiful monitor. You know, I'm telling you, at night, when this is on, even by itself, when this is on, the apartment's very dark. When I close the shades and the curtains, it pops, man. And that big light shines all the way down here. So I just can't wait because as soon as I envision that, I can start seeing the arcade come to life. But moving forward, so there it is. So now it's in English. Before it was showed in Japanese. And the Japanese one doesn't have the level or the experience where the American one does. And that's why in pictures, I'm like, why is mine not there? But in the end, so that's awesome. As you can tell, everything's in English. Not only, but look, Servbot is Servbot, and the other one it's something else. You know, and then, you know, Akuma and not Goki and the whole thing. So it looks beautiful. And then lastly, while I have you, my wife got this done for you. So let me just put it here on the couch. Here's the full manual. Now the manual's not that big normally. I'll explain why it's big. So this is just downloaded online, the PDF. So Marvelous Capcom 2, again, shows all that. Beautiful. You know, marquee, shows, you know, what to do. So this is very basic. Dip switches, see, again, that's what we're talking about. 15K if you have older games, or if you have the newer games, they're 31K. And then there's a 25 as well, so it's a try. And then, let me just keep going here. Oh, now this is, I actually just put this in. This is how to unlock the Japanese version, which I had to do manually. And just some interesting facts about it. And then this is the Blast City. Now all of it's in Japanese, as you can tell. So I use it as a reference. Now it's an extra thick book here because Francesco gave me his bass fishing. Now you're saying, Steve, this is not bass fishing. What it does though is give you the internals, because this was again in English. It gives you all these panels in English. So I have both. Now again, I didn't take out the bass fishing just in case, but it's there. You know, and how much it weighs and whatever. So I've left that, so we have both of them there. And then lastly, I also printed the Naomi, the GD-ROM, as I have it there, the drive. So just in case I ever have to do that, I have all my information here. And you know, that's pretty much it. So that one's that's a little thicker. And you know, there's the manual for that. So we reviewed the cabinet, just like a brief overview. Games working, cool ashtray. Everything else is pretty much buttoned up. And let me just quickly sign off. So I just wanted to show you before I just sign off here what it looks like, just all coined up and ready. What a thing of beauty, man. Beautiful. One of my favorite fighting games. That's why it's prominently the artwork. But I do have a lot more options if I ever wanted to retheme it. Alright, so let's just get right to it. Guys, I really hope you liked the video. I wanted to show you the ins and outs. And the main reason I do these videos is when I first got into the hobby, and now nothing's changed. I want to know the details, a close-up view, the ins and outs, serial number matching. Only so when I get mine and if someone's wanting this, They can see what an original one looks like, what serial numbers, what is it inside. So if they buy theirs, or if they have something wrong with theirs or missing, you can match it up to something that's working. So hope you guys love the video. Next video we're going to be looking at part 3, which is the game review. We're going to go through all of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and reviewing that. Plus what I was thinking of doing is maybe I'll do a mini review on my 3 favorites. So Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. SNK, and Capcom vs. SNK 2001 or 2, the second one. Only because I really love those games. I had them on PS2. I still play them, believe it or not, and I love them even on the Dreamcast. So I might do a quick review on those, and later on, further down the series. So it's been a pleasure. Thanks again for checking out Top Tier. A lot more coming videos about the Blast City. There's going to be some gameplay coming up. There's going to be reviewing of games individually, Japanese and American alike. Also, we got more coming up, with the Pinball Restore, and more, hopefully maybe even another a game in the next few months. So it's been a pleasure. Thanks for checking out Talk Tier. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, hit that up. There's only a lot more coming, and believe you me, if everything's going to go well, sooner than later, it might be about a year or so, or 2. But hopefully I build Top Tier and actually get my own place and a home in a huge basement and really house all these and make Top Tier, other than a fragmented type of games everywhere, my buddy's house, my parents, whatever else, to one unified arcade. Thanks for checking me out again. Peace.